Tina Turner had a great song, and the refrain was, "What's love got to do with it?" Turns out, when the subject is work, it has everything to do with it. I've spent about 8 years doing research on the question, why do people stay? They come to your organization, they're attracted because of your mission, your brand, your culture, but they leave when they don't feel supported by you. Now, when we dug into the research, we must have interviewed 20,000 people from a variety of organizations. And what we found is there were some top drivers of retention and engagement. And they were challenge, learning on the job, feeling like my career is going somewhere, working with great people, and having a great boss. Interestingly enough, pay was never in the top 3 or 4. Pay may be the number one go factor. At least it's what people write on their exit interviews. But it is not the number one stay factor. Not only in my research, but in the research of many, many, many others. So why do people stay? And what can you do about keeping your talented people on your team and in your enterprise? What stops us? If the drivers of retention and engagement are so clear, well, I think it's simple. I think we run out of time, or we think it's going to take so much time, in fact, to engage, retain our people, or we simply forget the basics. Now, I'm a real believer in practical basics, in strategies that, in fact, are low cost and no cost. The research that I talked about turned into a book that I co-authored. The book is called Love 'Em or Lose 'Em, Getting Good People to Stay. And it gives managers, it gives you 26 low-cost or no-cost ways that, in fact, you can engage and retain your talent. And it moves you from A through Z. So I'm just going to kind of tantalize you with the first 2. The A is for ask, and it is critical. And it says, ask your people why they stay. Ask your people what you can do to keep them. And you know why most managers don't ask? They don't ask because they're afraid that what the answer will be is something out of their control. And you know what we say? Ask anyway. Ask anyway and tell the truth about what you can and can't deliver. I promise you, if you ask your people what you can do to keep them, and you ask the question, what else? If in fact what they first said looks impossible, you will get 3 to 4 solid things you can do that are within your sphere of influence. How do I know? I have the research to prove it. Of those 20,000 people that we said, why do you stay? We asked them, were your stay factors within the control of your manager? And everyone said 3 to 4 of the factors they named were within your control. So the second letter in the alphabet is B. B is for buck. It stops with you. And that is, you have not all the influence, but you have a good deal of the influence over whether your people stay or go. Are you taking advantage of that influence? Are you asking them what you can do to keep them? So why is this critical? Because never before has there been such a talent shortage. And it's going to only get worse, and it's going to stick till the end of the decade at least. The organization that wins is going to be the organization who has the best talent. And talent is going to stay where they are appreciated, where they're challenged, where they're growing, where they're learning. Are you as a manager doing all you can to keep your talent on board?